Okay, I'm going to break down where you should be staying in Moorea, Tahiti. I have been there multiple times, and my sister actually lived there for a short period of time, so we've been to almost all of the resorts on the island and have taken the time to basically explore the perks and cons of each of them. So I'm going to spill the beans on like the top 3 places to stay that most people stay at, and then why you should maybe stay at one versus the other. First up is the Sofitel Moorea. This one in particular is my favorite hotel and definitely the most luxe out of all of the ones you can stay at, but it definitely has a pricey price tag. This one is also the closest to like the port and where you're going to come in on your boat, which is really convenient if you're only coming for a short period of time. This one also has some of the most spectacular over-the-water bungalows. One thing to note about over the water bungalows is they can either be on like a shallow lagoon or a deep lagoon. The Sofitel is on like a shallow lagoon, which is really beneficial because you can easily jump off of your deck and like go swim with the stingrays and just enjoy and swim in the white sand water. It's beautiful. They're also perched in a location that's like perfect for sunsets. A lot of the villas have beautiful sunsets, but in particular the Sofitel, the angle of where the villas are perched, they just have magical sunsets. I've been there for sunset multiple times and it's stunning. If you can't afford to go to the Sofitel, go to Tamai Beach, which is actually like 2 seconds away from the Sofitel, and you can watch the sunset from there. Next up is the Hilton. The Hilton is a great resort and a great alternative if you can't afford to do the Sofitel. It's a little bit less expensive for their over-the-water bungalows because they actually have a lot more of them. The Sofitel is a little bit more boutique, a little bit less in terms of the quantity of bungalows, so this one will have more options for you. The Hilton is also on a shallow lagoon. So as you can see, the water is like that turquoise color that you think of, and this is like not edited. This is actually what the water looks like, people. But the only downside I will say of the Hilton is their food was pretty awful when I went, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, that's definitely a downside, and it's a little bit more crowded because you obviously have so many more bungalows and it's a little bit more kid-friendly. So if you're looking for a kid-friendly place, I guess this would be more of your spot, but if you're on your honeymoon and stuff, I definitely recommend the Sofitel if you can afford it. And finally, the Manava. I've stayed here and it is a great spot, but it's definitely a different vibe than the last 2 places I explained because it's on a deeper lagoon. So as you can see, the water is a lot darker here, so it's not going to be the same feel as jumping into turquoise water. It's going to be pretty deep and just a little bit different, but it does have some beautiful sunrises, I will say. So this is a photo I actually took at sunrise. They have some of the most spectacular sunrises from the Manava just because of where it's perched and because the water is darker, the reflection, it's beautiful. So this is a good stay. It's the least expensive, like I said. So you just kind of have to decide what you want, but I will be making a video on more tips for Moorea.